Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nerdy Operator, and I am here to present to you my first official YouTube video, and I have decided it's going to be a review of the video game Battlefield 2042. So hopefully you find it informative. The reason I decided to start my YouTube venture with this review is simply because I was looking forward to this game so much, and I'm so disappointed. So I just have to I just have to have my voice be heard on this. Like I have to voice my opinion, my frustration with it. It's not good. This game is a disaster, guys. And I have a number of gripes that we're gonna go over today. But so yeah, um, we're gonna start with the fact that there isn't really much of a scoreboard in this game. Like it's there, but it's not. It doesn't actually show score. Like you can see your kills and assists and stuff, but that's about it. On top of that, there's also really no combat record, which is something that I have grown used to being in pretty much any first-person shooter game. So I don't quite understand why those aren't in there from day one. Those are basic and simple elements that are in like every Battlefield game, at least all the ones that I've played. I haven't played them all, but I've played a good portion of them. So I really don't understand why it's absent from 2042. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, this might not be a huge deal for some, but it is for me because I like being able to track my stats as well as being able to track the stats of my friends and my team, especially when I'm in game. Because you like to be able to know that your team is doing what they need to do by going for the objective, helping capture it, all that good stuff. Um, that just kind of brings like I wouldn't say a competitive edge to the gameplay, but it makes it more wholesome, knowing that you have a team that's actually going for the win and stuff like that. And you just can't do that in this game right now. You really can't tell, and that kind of kills part of the incentive to play. At least for me, um, the game just needs a full scoreboard, guys. I mean, like I said, it's basic. It's a basic element. There's no excuse for it to not be in there. So, yeah, hopefully I shouldn't even say hopefully. It should have just been there to the start. But anyway, moving on. Next up, I have been experiencing some severe and debilitating graphical bugs, mostly in portal mode. Um, and probably my favorite is when I'll be using my primary and, I'll be shooting and, doing my business. I'll swap to a gadget or rocket launcher or something like that. I'll use it. And then when I swap back to my primary, my attachments are like floating mid screen. Like they're not even on the gun anymore. They're just floating. And then like my optic will stay on my gun, but when I aim in, it's like all funky. Like it's like the weapon sway's just like kicked up to like a 100 on a scale of 10. Like I can't get a good sight picture until the bug corrects itself. And even then, it only seems to correct itself like randomly. I can't really find any real manual way to, rectify it. So that's really annoying. It's gotten me killed a number of times. So definitely a big frustration there. And like I said earlier, I played a number of Battlefield games. I played 3. That was the first one I played. I played Bad Company 2, Bad Company 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1. And they all had their share of bugs at launch, but this game, my God, like this is probably the worst bug I've seen on any launch title. Um, and I do have some footage of it in the video here for you guys. Um, it's gonna be a little bit later in the video because, I mean, I had so many instances of that bug. I decided to just grab one for this video. But you'll see it. Um, there's just no way you can miss it. It's mind-boggling. So, moving on from there, I want to get into the weapon balancing. The weapon balancing is pretty much non-existent. There's only like one or two good guns. One's a sniper rifle, one's a submachine gun, and everything else is pretty much a marshmallow shooter. It just doesn't compare. Like the damage output is just, like I said, it's like you're just shooting marshmallows. The PP submachine gun seems to be what everyone's using right now because it seems to be the only gun other than one of the sniper rifles that's actually worth using right now, and I hate that because I myself am a assault rifle guy. I love ARs. In any shooter game that I play, I pretty much just stick to rifles. It's just my preference. I don't usually go for the meta or anything like that. And like when I can't use what I want to use, it kind of kills the desire to play for me, honestly. And in portal mode, you can mess with the time to kill and the damage multipliers and stuff like that. But there's things about portal mode that I'm gonna get into here in a minute that kind of don't necessarily change my feelings towards this game. But I'll explain all that here in a second. On top of the balancing, everyone already knows this. The weapon selection is meh. There's only 22 guns, and that's a pretty small list for a Battlefield game. I remember when Battlefield 4 launched, and it had almost double that, if not double. I don't remember the exact count, but it was up there. There was a lot of weapons when Battlefield 4 first launched, and it just doesn't make sense to me why honestly, it feels like they're pulling a Call of Duty on us right now, because if anyone, see here, right here, that's the clip I was telling you about. Like, the attachments are just floating and aiming, like it's just weird, and then it corrects itself. It's just weird. So that's probably my biggest complaint right now. But anyway, back to the weapon list. Yeah, it just feels like they're pulling a Call of Duty and only giving us basically like the bare minimum. I just feel like there's so much missing on the weapon side of things, which is unfortunate because I was honestly expecting a much larger weapon catalog. And again, they disappointed me on that front too. Now we're going to get into portal mode. Portal mode kind of ties into just pretty much everything that I'm talking about right now. So to start, portal mode feels decent, but incomplete at best. Don't get me wrong. It's cool to be able to play 1942, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, their maps, their weapons, all that good stuff, all that nostalgia. It's nice. It really is. But because of the rather disappointing weapon selection in base 2042, the first gripe I have with Portal is I really thought there would be much more creative liberties to be taken. And you can have all the maps and you can set the factions. That's cool and all, but I was really hoping, I hope they do this in the future. I think they should have done it from the beginning, but I was really hoping that we could basically just use all the weapons from all the different games. 2042 weapons, 1942 weapons, Bad Company 2 weapons, Battlefield 3 weapons, in conjunction with one another. The weapons are tied to their respective factions and games, which I get, but at the same time, in portal mode, we should be able to use whatever we want with whoever we want. That's my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people are going to share this opinion with me. It just ties into the really small weapon count, and then even with playing Battlefield 3 Portal Mode, which is mostly what I've been sticking to, they only brought back roughly the same amount of guns that 2042 has, which makes sense. They plan to add more throughout the game's life cycle, and that's fine. But again, because the 2042 weapons, there's only 22. I just think we should be able to use them all. Use them all. You play as 2042 people, you're using Battlefield Bad Company 2 weapons, or you're using World War II weapons or Battlefield 3 weapons. That's how it should be. There's just not as much creative liberty in portal mode than I thought there would be. And honestly, I kind of feel cheated by that because, I spent $120 on this game to play early, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, it was not worth it. Not at all. I just expected so much more from DICE with portal mode at the very least. And they just didn't deliver. And because honestly, I would love to run around as a World War II German soldier wielding an M16A3 against 2042 people that are wielding Thompsons and M1 Garands. That just sounds awesome to me. I don't know why, but I'm weird. So, but yeah, like I said, we can't do that. And I just feel like they really missed the mark with portal mode, and I'm not even entirely convinced that they can make it right. For me, I kind of feel like the damage that they could have done has been done, so I'm not entirely hopeful. And maybe all my gripes about this game are silly and meaningless to some, but it's just how I feel, guys, because I drank the Kool-Aid, as Chaos says, for this game. I was on the hype train, but it was so overhyped, and it did not even remotely live up to it. And it just feels like there's so much missing from the game. And on top of that, I want to talk about squads. trying to switch squads is a joke. Like I play on Xbox Series X, and it'll say, press X to change squad. One, you don't get to choose your squad, and it's just random. Um, so I kind of feel like they just dumbed everything down and just went with a simplistic style with that. Because like I remember like in not 2042, sorry, Battlefield 4, you could view all the squads and anyone that was open, you could go into if you wanted to change squads. You can't do that in this game. It's just completely random, and I hate that. And you know, there's just not really a whole lot on this game that makes me want to play. Portal mode might be an exception, but Portal mode's fun and all, but like I said, with how limited I feel like they made it, it's just a huge disappointment. They promised way more than they delivered, and it's as simple as this. I'm just not thrilled. And one other thing I would like to touch on before I go is the performance. The performance is meh. I'm playing on Xbox Series X, like I said, and I have noticed some severe frame rate drops. I know crashes have been happening. I have yet to experience a crash. Players on PC are pretty much having all kinds of issues, frame rate, crashing, all that stuff. I can't even imagine what the PS4 and Xbox One versions are like, but yeah, the game is just not good. It's buggy as hell. I gotta be honest, guys, I do not recommend this game. If you were thinking about picking it up, please wait. It's not worth the money right now. It's really not. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be it. I just wanted to give a quick review. So I will keep up on this game. I'll try to keep you guys in the know about it because I want to like this game, but I just can't right now. So that's gonna be all for today, guys. Hopefully you found this informative. I am hoping to build a community here on YouTube. I finally got the courage to do this, and I've been wanting to do it for a very long time. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to seeing what you guys think about it. Follow me on social media. Links in the description. You can stay up to date with what I have planned and what I have coming. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Nerdy Operator, and I'm signing off. Take it easy, guys.